And so talk to us a little bit. I know you've got some stories of when shit hit the fan. Can you give us some of those? Because I know you've got some good ones.
Look, the most famous story is demand media. I have a case study out at the UC Berkeley at the Haas Business School. So we had deployed an algorithm in production that what we were doing is we basically, legally, I can't, how do I describe it? We had the ability to predict demand on Google. So I developed an algorithm. It was called the Answer Factory. And there was a very famous Wired article, I think in 2009 about this, where we had the ability to predict what people were searching for on Google. And we could predict how many clicks you would get on a web page. So we built an algorithm that allowed us to say, if you, by the way, what do you think the most popular search is on Google? Like long tail search?
You don't want them to know what I think it is.
Yeah. Rated G. How to get rid of flabby arms, right? That's the kind of stuff we would make. That's the kind of, because that's what people search for. Like that's the kind of stuff that the average person searches for. And you run your, weight loss, right? Weight loss, cooking, recipes, things like this, basic stuff. So we could predict how much traffic the web page would get before we wrote it. So I basically reverse engineered SEO. And this was prior to the Panda and Penguin updates. This was back when Schmidt was still the CEO of Google. So of course demand media, we put this thing into production. And we at one point we were generating 100,000 pieces of content a month. 100,000 pieces of content a month. And then Google changed CEOs and they just, Larry came in and then they redid all their algorithms. They introduced the Panda update, the Penguin updates, and all our content then got down, all the content got delisted. How do you undo what you've done? You take content down, right? I mean, which content do we take down? How do we know what has been done? So, you have this problem where you're generating content. You have this factory generating content. And all of a sudden, the primary algorithm for what decides what to generate changed. And everything, how do you undo what has been done? Do you take content down? That content's been amortized. So it was a huge problem. And how do you figure out what happened? And one of the things like Google, there are things people don't realize about Penguin and Panda. If you guys do SEO, you know what these things are when they changed all the way they do SEO. Not only did they change the SEO algorithms, but they stopped giving you the inbound query. Because it used to be that when you did a search on Google on your webpage, Google would tell you what the search was, like what search was given to you. They stopped telling you. Because if you know what the search is, you can front run you can figure out what people are searching for, because people basically search for the same thing over and over and over. So, from a deployment perspective, how do you undo that? So that was a nightmare so I have a whole case study of this. We talk about the Haas School.